And CC has broken off in frame one, and not the greatest break off for sure. He's left a red into the middle pocket. Black is open, so here's an early opportunity for Daniel to put a mark on this match. And in other quarterfinal matches, we do have Brady Golan and Gary Wallace, another Canadian heavyweight battle over there, and Alex Newstead against Ross Bradson, and Varun Junjay against Prathamesh Sawat. Those are all your quarterfinals, and we'll try to update as we get results coming in and pass it along to you on the stream. It's got a nice angle actually to go into them off this blue. No, just a electing play for the loose red by the black. This would be a great statement by Daniel if he can put up a good break to open up this match. Might be a costly miss, just as I was giving the support to Daniel. He's missed a rather simple red and left a sitter there for CC, so we'll see what CC can do with this. CC's long putting was just fantastic as he opened up his match earlier today in the first batch of round 16 matches. But then it's kind of tapered off a little bit. But it's a new match here. Both players are getting into it, looking good. Let us know where you're tuning in from on the stream. If you've got any comments or questions, it's David Burney in the booth with you, guiding you through these quarterfinal matches. The 2023 Seattle Snooker Open Championship live from Ox Billiards in Seattle, Washington, USA. So after that, black is not really on anything, so kind of maybe... Ooh, we're going to see a little... No, there might have been a little tit-for-tat kind of action, maybe be in threat of almost a re-rack. And now Daniel's got to be careful with this. Just screams in off into the top left corner pocket. And trying to do the behind the back shot, which is quite common in the pool game. But not a lot of players do that in snooker. There's the interesting underarm stroke that Mark Williams has patented, but yeah, behind the back, and that's not his best shot that he's played. Left another like easy open here for CC. As he's got a red, he's got a black, he's got an open red. Rob, for the update, Ross did win his match over Jay Ma, 3-0, so he is into the quarterfinals going against Alex Newstead. My apologies, got a little tongue-tied there. And unfortunately, Rob, again, Ross is on that one table where it's just a bit tricky to see from my vantage point to the score, so hopefully we'll update that as we go along, as we are actually able to use our cameras to hone in on their scoreboard. Hopefully we'll just know who is going to be on the correct position so we can report the scores accurately to all of you. Yeah, I don't think that red to the right of the bunch passes that other red on the bottom to go into the top left corner, so I think he's going to have to come off cushion with a bit of pace to disturb these reds. Maybe he's seen the angle just to cut it into the middle pocket. That's what happens when you miss a careless shot. Your opponent will punish you. The CC ran it just a little out of position there, so he'll take his medicine and can he get the... Would have liked to just a little bit on the other side of that green, just to hide it behind that black as cue ball. Still not a comfortable position here for Daniel. Yeah, I wonder if this one could, it's possible this one could go the distance. And actually, I think it was a whitewash, I believe, by CCU in his first match today against Dave Daly. So that increases his undefeated strength. He has not lost a frame in the Seattle Snooker Open. And that's going all the way back to last year, where he won the championship, didn't even lose a frame. So, will he keep that streak alive? As well, I'm joined by Christian Youngers in the booth.
Howdy, howdy.
Doing some great work with making all these great pictures and making us sound good and looking good on the screen.
Yeah, we managed to get the bracket up this time too. New feature to the aux streams, and we get to see the live bracket as it stands. Rob Branson, you answered his question already?
I have.
Yeah, okay, cool. Sick. Yeah, Ross is playing strong. Just ask him about the match he played with me though the night before. Tell him how that one went. Or ask him how that one went.
Might have been his motivation. Who knows?
I think it was actually. I think it was my demotivation and his motivation.
True, because you were saying, well, we're on opposite sides of the bracket, so I'll see you in the final.
Right? Yeah. Right. Did not fare well on that achievement, but that's okay. This is gonna be a good one though. I kind of want to see how Daniel's getting adjusted to this new cue that he's been playing with. I wonder if he's going to start. We saw some phenomenal shot making from him, obviously, but I want to see if he's, maybe playing a little bit more prudent of a game now. He did go down one frame in his round of 16 match, right? And then he came back and won the 3-1.
True. Yeah, he dispatched of another Canadian that was in the tournament, Karen Gill. So. Yeah, we've seen Daniel use a couple of cues. He's using a carbon fiber one right now, but he also had an ash. So we'll see how he bounces around. We did see that switch of play in the round robin yesterday. But
there's a good shot right there from Daniel. He's been knocking in these long pots. So maybe this is the battle of the long pots this match.
Could be. Yeah, both players have been doing that quite well.
This little stun shot. Maybe slightly short, but is okay because probably prefers to be a little bit high on this black to come down for these reds near the top cushion. Now he's playing up for blue. Talked to him on the side previously while he's practicing, and he said he really likes to come up for the blue a lot just because it's an easier ball to play for as long as you get up on the correct side of the blue, I guess.
Yes, and as Christian has mentioned, the correct side of the blue, it's just with the natural angle will take you back down to the business end of the table. That's why you hear the right side of the blue, the correct side of the blue. That means more your cue ball is in the bulk area, not the bulk area, but the bulk side of the halfway point, shall we say. And that creates a natural angle that you can come back down to the business end of the table, as we call it, because that's where all the reds usually are and the high-valued colored points.
Yeah, maybe next we got to figure out getting the camera over the business end of a table. It's like a top-down view. Might be kind of cool, right?
True. Yeah, I think just but things do cost money. But hey, as these get more and more popular, I'm pretty sure companies will start being like, hey, maybe I should get in there and sponsor this great snooker action.
Yeah, definitely. And I managed to have a pretty big sponsor last year for the World Women's event. See, wonder if we can get more for future tournaments. It'll be good. Help support the community.
Yeah, Microsoft helped out the World Women's Snooker US Open last August here at Ox Billiards. This has been very nice by Daniel here. It's these guys are making quick work of this, actually.
Yeah, two firepowers going at it. So far, what it looks like a couple of 16 and a 8 from CC, and now it looks like Daniel's on a 29. Maybe opportunity here. A lot of open reds available. Looks like he's trying to play for this one. Oh, he's got a nice angle to run into the pink if he wants to open that up. If that red doesn't go. It looks like it might go to the right corner pocket. It's hard to say, but if he gets a good look at this pink after, yeah, he's not going to flirt with it. And he got on the incorrect side that time.
Correct. Now he's going to have to go in and out of bulk. So, as we were alluding to earlier, the correct side of the blue, there's that wrong side of the blue, and that just means your cue ball just has to travel just a little bit more. If he wanted to get back for a closer shot, he elected for a more softer shot, leaving himself with a mid-range red.
Yeah. I think he's been knocking a lot of these in, so maybe he just feels more comfortable right now, wants to sort of in-between side space distance shot. Oh, stun run through comes a little low, but it's going to be okay, I think. It's going to be a tougher black than he maybe would have wanted, but he has these 2 balls up by the pink spot that he might be able to run into to hold the cue ball there.
Yeah, put a blind cut here. It is a bit tricky, but we've seen him make it before.
Ooh, just overcut it. And actually was fortunate not to run into that red as a result. I think had he potted that black, he would have been hitting it a little bit thicker, and I think his cue ball would have... I guess he would have been hitting it thicker, yeah. So, no, he wouldn't have run into those reds. He still would have missed it. It would have been even by a bigger margin, so never mind that. Uh-oh. CC's not going to like this.
No, it's interesting. Yeah, CC might be a little bit cold as he played his match at 10 a.m. and Daniel just coming off a round of 16 match, just finished up maybe about 15 minutes before the start of this match. So Daniel might be running the hot streak right now, but we'll see if he can keep that going.
Yeah, it looks like he's playing a lot faster than in the last match he played. He's a little bit maybe more in rhythm. Don't necessarily know Daniel to be necessarily a rhythm player, but definitely helps. Oh, look at this thin cut. Wow, nice shot. Positionally, though, might not have been the most ideal situations. Could have opted to take the blue into the corner, which was a much tougher shot, but had a much higher percentage of getting him a good position. Probably gonna like to play safer. Can he squeeze past all the balls into the corner? Looks like he's going for it. Yep, just barely caught that.
And I wonder if CC can come off the top cushion.
Yeah, I think he has to come off, right? Definitely can't see it directly.
Suzanne's watching from Maryland. Great to hear that you're tuning in. Just says, please keep the subscript up to date. I look away, and when I come back, confusion. Not too sure what you're alluding to, Suzanne.
Subscript?
Yeah. If you can just elaborate, we'll do our best.
Maybe she meant scoreboard autocorrect. Yeah, scoreboard. Scoreboard has been on and off up to date. For the most part, we've been pretty close, though. We do have the scoreboard in the room that we can see.
True. Hopefully, as we continue to grow, we'll get more and more people wanting to help out behind the scenes. And scorekeeping is a great job to do. Very important, and it'd be right there up close. Got to be able to watch the match. Yes, can't have an obstructive view. So the best seat in the house if you're a scorekeeper.
So now, opportunity for Daniel possibly to try to get this frame on the board is going to be really one red maybe is a big obstruction, the one that's closer to the top cushion. Opted to play it slowly, probably opting for the pink in the middle, since he's pretty straight in, it looks like.
Yeah, so probably to just give it a little bit more pace. And obviously with the longer cues, that's going to allow more weight, so you don't have to strike the ball as hard to get it to go further.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Roberts saying, really cool guys. Great to see snooker out there in the U.S. It is true. It's great that Mike and the team here at Ox are putting their best to be the Apollo mission of snooker. They're going to get this great game buzzing in America. They've done a great job, so hopefully they can continue it on.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. We just don't want to be that one Apollo mission that had the unfortunate situation, right?
True. Apollo 1 was unsuccessful, but you're never really successful on your first try, unfortunately. You know,
Yep.
those 3 astronauts did die in the fire, but little do they know they kept at it, and Apollo 11 was the mission that got America to the moon.
Ooh, watch out green here. Pretty close. I think it's touching one side. So I don't think there's an obstruction with the green to hit any of the reds, but the brown looks like it has the other covered. Pink.
Yeah, there's a red that is open, I believe. I don't think the pink is covering it, but Daniel's just going to kind of come off a couple of cushions and maybe flick this red towards the black and then shoot back up table.
Ooh, just missed that flick. You can saw from our camera angle how close that was.
Good to see we've got some Kiwis in the house. Adam, thanks for tuning in all the way from New Zealand. Just wondering how the scene is over there in New Zealand. I know Australia's got a great snooker player in Neil Robertson. But how's New Zealand fare for the snooker? Do they have many rooms, tables? Adam, feel free to let us know what the gist is in snooker. As you know, snooker actually, New Zealand would be a great place for snooker, as their rugby team is nicknamed the All Blacks, and it's always good to get All Blacks in this game.
Yeah, there you go. Ooh, nice contact. Managed to get it on the way in that time.
That was one that he wanted, but played it with such a pace that he wasn't going to leave it on, and
Might be a window. It's close. Michael Lubrin shouting out his good friend Daniel Sardoncillo. Good luck, good luck.
nice long pot there. I think the streak of unbeaten frames might be coming to a close here for CC. Dan could be the man.
Yeah, you just might. Just might. We'll see. Sorry, I'm actually not keeping track of the score, so we're a little behind. It's like 28 to 55. There we go.
Ooh,
Interesting shot selection. He was trying to play a safety, it looks like, on that.
I think it's just straight out miss, personally. Just a big lapse of concentration there.
I mean, based on how he reacted, he was trying to make it so the first, I guess the yellow doesn't run into the cue ball. He looked like he was trying to hug the cue ball to the green, get behind the green, yeah, not leave a shot. Oh, is this double on? Wow, long double.
Yeah, those cross doubles are a wonderful shot, and so a shot to nothing. He was kind of playing possibly to miss.
Mm-hmm. So he's fairly straight on this brown into the middle.
Yeah, a bit of an angle. Just needs to stun it, so he's onto the yellow. So CC could steal this frame. It's all there for him.
Nice shot there. It's a good starter. Yeah, all the colors are pretty much on their spots for the most part. Are pretty close to their spots. The black may be faring as the hardest ball on the table.
Definitely an important shot here. Brown to blue. One of the pivotal shots when you're clearing up the colors. He's got a good angle. Will he take the cushion? More sensible one. Yeah, using the cushion to his advantage.
Pretty straight on this blue. He's just taking a look at how angle he wants to go from pink to black. Really, the black's pretty close to the middle, so I don't know. I guess you'd rather be straight on the pink if possible, or fairly straight.
But those are the toughest shots. The straight-in shots is always fun to have a little bit of an angle.
Yeah, a tiny bit of angle, but fairly straight, right? Don't want to have too much of an angle that you're going to get too close to the black.
How he has it, I think the bird's eye would show probably that it's got a slight angle that hopefully you can just float down towards that black after this pink.
Ooh, okay, a little stun across. Uh-oh, is it going to be short?
It is short of pace.
Yeah, so he had a little bit maybe too much angle or not enough for the shot that he wanted to do. I feel like on that one, probably could have rolled forward, got one cushion, but it was a little bit harder to control that pace.
Yeah, is he going to try and cut it?
I think so. He's looking at it. He's thinking about it.
I almost think just...
You could also thin off the other edge and put him up table, right?
Yeah, or just stun into that black. Oh, it looks like that's what he's going to do. He's going to take the left side and go around the house. Oh, no.
Send it one cushion up table. As long as it glues to this top rail, it should be fine with a bowl cushion.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's not bad. It's cuttable, but it's probably something too thin that you wouldn't necessarily go for on the TV table in the match.
Yeah, Daniel's just got to stay positive, as much as CC has roared back. Don't make any careless mistakes here. Frame still can be yours. But it would be quite a steal if CC was able to take this one.
Another black ball game, too.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of that as we're getting into the closing stages of this tournament.
Uh-oh, this might get too close to the pocket. Wants it to freeze. Yeah, that's going to be okay. Almost a bit of trouble there, but nice shot from Daniel. CC, definitely the more experienced player in the situation. Comes to the snooker table on the last black ball. So we'll see who makes the first mistake. Or who makes the first highlight reel shot, I guess, right?
True, it's always tough when you feel like you have the frame in hand and then your opponent comes back and makes a solid break to steal it. So it just makes you feel really sick. So, Dan, you want to try and avoid that.
Uh-oh, this might be the first mistake. Let's push it a little bit too far.
True. Is CC tempted to take on this mid-red and keep his unbeaten streak in frames in a Seattle Open alive? Or will Daniel get another chance to take this first frame quarterfinal match best of 5?
I think he has to go for it here.
And it's there.
Nice
Great shot
pot.
there by CC. What a steal there.
Watch out,
He's
cue ball.
watching the white.
Watch out, cue
Everyone
ball.
is.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wow.
Just doesn't go in.
Wow,
Big
wow, wow.
sigh of relief for CCU as he takes that first frame in this best of 5 quarterfinal match against Daniel Sardoncillo. We'll be right back with frame 2 action. And we're back here with frame 2 action with Daniel Sardoncillo to break off. Had a little heartbreaker of a first frame for him. He was ahead by quite a lot, and CC battled back. And a few questions have come through on the stream. A Prayon is asking, his wife's actually asking why they're dressed like blackjack dealers. Well, it comes from a long tradition. I'm not sure when it started, how it started. I'll do some research for our next tournament. But they've always been wearing the smart attire. It's almost like a golfer wearing the collared shirt and the khaki pants. Somehow they just developed in snooker as it's quite a classy sport over in Britain, that they felt having the players dressed in smart pants and smart shirts and a vest or waistcoat, whichever you call it, was a good way to represent the sport. And there's also a big thing that people are saying that if you dress smart, you're going to play smart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the roundabout it. But I will find out at Prayon for hopefully our next tournament, that I can let you know why or how it came to be that the formal dress code was put into the game of snooker. And Andrew Knox Brady is still playing. He's in his quarterfinal match. He's going against Gary Wallace, another fellow Canadian. I think Brady is up 33-18 in the first frame. And it's early in the Varun Prathamesh match. And just looking over my shoulder, I don't see the score, but it looks like Ross Bradson and Alex Newstead are deep into their first frame. And here we have CCU, defending champion, up 1 frame to nothing over Daniel Sardoncillo, Ox, my apologies, not Oak, Ox sponsored player.
CC's done a good job to open up these reds. Honestly, after basically the first color he had a shot at. So might be dangerous here. Might have a chance at a pretty good break. Most of these are wide in the open. Just gotta make sure he picks them off in the right order and make sure they don't cluster and clutter each other up.
Yep, pink and black really aren't, well, maybe pink to the top left corner pocket. There's a red in the way, obviously, of the right middle. But yeah, this is a great opportunity for CC to really step on the gas and create a big lead, maybe even a frame winning break. We could be in store for something special here.
We'll know if he makes it here before it makes it to the pocket. Ooh, just a little bit overcut. And he knows that was a big chance.
Mm-hmm. And both these players are from the Seattle area, so they'll know a bit more about each other, I know. But Dave Daly had to give Angus Liu. Hope you're feeling better, Angus, if you're tuning in. Unfortunately, he got a little bit sick, so he wasn't able to come in and play his round of 16 match. But David mentioned to him that his first opponent in the tournament was Brady Golan, and Dave and playing in some of the BC Open Championships knows of Brady Golan, so he just gave him a little advice. You're going to be playing a good player, so don't take anything carelessly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big match for sure. So even though Daniel and CC are both in the Seattle area, I don't think they've actually encountered each other very much in the past. CC being mainly a snooker player and having ownership of Empire Billiards over in Bellevue, and Daniel's a local pool player, kind of one of the top pool players now rising in Washington State. But the snooker and the pool worlds haven't really clashed too much, I guess, recently. So it's an interesting matchup, in my opinion, to see kind of one of the better pool players versus one of the better snooker players, both representing Washington, would be kind of cool.
And Daniel, I think one of our taller competitors out there, so he won't be using the rest as much as other players. Definitely impressed by his potting ability. I just didn't want to cannon into that brown. So I'm going to go through that bulk area and come back down table for some reds.
Now, these are the spots where I'm wondering, is Daniel going to be taking on these reds, try to pot it? It's a sort of a shot to nothing if he gets somewhere in the bottom rail. Comes all the way up table. Or is he going to take more of a safety approach? I have a feeling he's still going to take these on and try to pot this. But not sure. He's putting center ball. Be a little bit low.
Just maybe getting a little bit distracted by maybe some of the pool players, as it's an active room here at Ox. And they've got about, how many is there? 8 rests on 7x9 tables. There's got 1 Chinese 8-ball table. So, yeah, it's kind of a members club. I believe they're open for the pool tables for the public right now. So,
all right. No, today I think it's only league.
Only league today, okay.
League players today, yep.
So that might show a little bit of the pool side for Daniel there, taking on that long red. I think he should have had a bit more of a look and maybe seen where he could leave CC in a lot of trouble. The one trouble, obviously, is there is that red that is up in the bulk area.
Now, this red on the right edge of this pack does go into the green pocket, I think, right? Might see him take this on because it's kind of a shot to nothing if he comes back up table. Oh, did it go? Wow.
Pinball shot there almost.
Yeah. Off 2 balls going up table.
Yeah, he's just kind of eyeing up that the 3 triangular reds over there on the right, the bottom one.
I think 2 of them.
Middle.
2 of these reds go into the middle. The only problem is it's going to be leaving the one up in the corner wide open. It's a pretty risky shot. Looks like he's opting for the one closest to the right middle pocket. Just be careful because the nap might catch you out on this shot. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think you really need to hit it that hard. But obviously, it's a lot easier playing the shot in a commentary booth than actually being on the table. I think I'm lying. Just go find or come down here when the tournament's done here at Ox and put your hand down on a snooker table. It's definitely a very tricky game to play. CC might have a path to this long black into the top left middle, or top left corner.
Overcut. Kind of got up a little suddenly, so a little bit of an unexpected miss maybe there.
Good to hear your support out there, Bo. Cheering on Daniel. That's good to hear. If anyone else wants to show their support for either player, let us know in the chat. Scream it out there. Also, if you have any questions or comments for Christian or myself, we're happy to answer them as best we can. Let us know where you're tuning in from. It's great to see some familiar streamers out there. Our good friends Chuck Jones, Snooker 155, Joe Town, Andrew Knox. A lot of these people have been tuning in all weekend long.
Bo Bologna in the chat saying, "Let's go, Daniel." We've had Bo on some of our pool streams. Duke playing it out with a lot of other players. Been fun to watch. Shout out to Bo.
I wonder why he didn't take that red in the bulk area.
Yeah, I think that's maybe a decision type mistake. When you take on a red up in the bulk, if you pot it, you have a pretty good chance to play safe, but also you don't leave anything on if you miss it other than the red you're shooting. Whereas here you leave in a lot of options for CC, typically.
It is true, Snooker 155. There's nothing better than watching Snooker. Oh, you're making us blush in the commentary booth. Thank you very much. You know, it would be a little bit better if maybe meeting up with you in Berlin and going to the Tepidrome to watch the German Masters. That is on the list for Mr. David Burney. That is I, so hopefully I can get to Deutschland soon enough. Hopefully maybe Snooker 155, you can be my host.
Oh yeah, I'm making a trip to Berlin this summer, so we'll link up. Sounds cool. You got perfect on this black. And now I have a chance to put both pink and black back on the spot if he has a nice little stun shot here. Yeah. Probably will have to take black though, since there is a red to play for next.
Maybe that red by the pink.
Yeah, take that red by the pink out, and the pink is effectively on its spot, or at least is available to both corner and middle pockets. Oh, doesn't want to get close to those.
It's okay. The middle of those three reds, you can take that into the middle pocket and stun them for the blue.
Good speed. It's got a little bit short though. Should be okay. Has a couple of options to still play for reds, even though it's fairly straight on the blue.
Yeah, you could run through this blue quite a lot and be back onto that pink, or the red by the pink, into the top right corner pocket. Daniel, in that last minute, he made a break of 40, correct, Christian?
41.
41,
Yeah,
okay.
41.
So Brady Golan's break of 47 is still standing as the high run.
No, maybe 40. I think you might be right. Definitely 40 plus, but not yet our highest break. CC's here on a 22, 23 break, looks like. And still has 3, 4 maybe open reds. The one in the top corner.
Yeah, there's a lot here. That could, this looks like a possible frame-winning break here for CC, actually. Kel Clark. supporting her boy. Oh, Danny boy. Oh, Cece.
Wow. Big miss there.
Played tougher pots than that before, so just as Carol Clark is cheering on Daniel, Cece misses, and Daniel's now back at the table. Let's see what Mr. Sardoncillo can do. Ooh, just.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a pool player in him. I think that shot he has to shoot that a little bit less pace.
And definitely a bit more accurate. You know, those wide open pool pockets. It's very an interesting game when you're used to playing snooker and then you jump over to the small table and feel like a giant.
Wow. A little bit of a loose cue ball on that one. I think he was probably playing for the red out in the open.
Yeah, we don't have to say what he's thinking. Yeah, Billy Dixon is a carbon fiber cue that Daniel is using. He might have got inspired by Ahmad Ali, perhaps the Open champion, who's going to be adding his name to the list of very few Americans that have played on the Pro Tour, as I found out yesterday from some of our streamers, that there have been a couple Americans on the Pro Snooker Tour. And you might be seeing this a bit more. Obviously, there's some purists that say it's got to be wood. But as I was discussing with some people the other day, it's just a different tool to get the job done. You look at painters, and some use watercolors, some use acrylic, and some use oil. Myself, when I'm usually taking photographs, I'm using 35 millimeter film, where some people might just shoot digital. So it's just a different tool, and some people think it's the wave of the future, that it will be all going that way.
You never know.
We'll see. Time will tell.
I don't know. I don't know that wood will ever fully go away. It being, easy to keep a wood cue in good shape over time, and like you said, the purist kind of always being there. I think ultimately there's no probably real objective performance difference in terms of carbon fiber necessarily plays better or worse. So when it comes down to preference and these kind of things, I think you're going to get both schools of thought always existing. But it could be the case that carbon fiber, starts to take kind of the majority market share. And at least we've seen that in the pool scene. Majority of top end pool cues have now shifted over to carbon fiber.
Yeah, definitely. When you look at the game of golf, they were iron sticks all the time, and then graphite came out, and there was a big shift there. And I think golf is actually kind of a lot of players are now returning to that iron in their cue shaft. So
yeah, you also look at another sport like tennis, kind of something similar, using wood often for their rackets, or maybe some metal, eventually aluminum, and then now a lot of these lightweight carbon fiber. Yeah, it's kind of just maybe just technological enhancements over time.
Yep, even lacrosse sticks once made of just wood and leather. And now they've got kind of more of a graphite shaft and stuff. So
we see Daniel's going to do that queuing technique where he just
He's got to watch out turning in your direction over here, Christian. He's kind of nodding to you. I don't know. If I was his opponent, I'd be like, is that coaching going on over there?
No, I think he was asking me if it's okay to put this in the butt of that cue, and I think it's totally fine. You see, he's using the rest as like further bridge to then cue with his normal queuing. And looks like he's done well at it.
Gets a good round of applause from the great crowd here at Ox Billiards.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not many that do that, and that's another thing that might come along, that more and more players might cue, say, the natural way, I guess. How would we call it? The
elbow up, maybe, instead of elbow out to the side.
That
behind
works,
you,
yeah.
elbow behind you. Yeah, when you're effectively using the rest, like most snooker players do, you kind of are just learning the same stroke sideways instead of from behind you and vertical. It's kind of the same motion. You're still moving your arm along that same kind of plane, you could say. Yeah, Sonny Akani does that, like we were saying earlier.
Yeah, he just kind of steps up and resets himself. So many players, when they kind of are down on the shot and then they get back up, they really do a full, complete redress of getting back, looking at the angle, and then kind of walking into the shot.
No, I think this is one area, like you said, the kind of like standing up and all that. I think that's an area where Daniel probably actually has a little bit more experience than CC in terms of tournament play. I think big events, etc. Not knocking CC, but I think in general, Daniel's has been playing pool since a while back, and he's playing in a lot of national events in Vegas, etc. Versus some of the top pool players. So maybe the mental, kind of the mental part of the game when it comes to these pressure situations, he's definitely very used to and does well.
Yeah, I wonder why we didn't see him up at the BC Open.
Yeah, I think he was probably playing in a pool tournament that weekend, if I had to guess.
All right.
But yeah, he's starting to learn the game of snooker, and I think it's definitely helping him out. Learning new things, getting better at his cueing. Definitely has got a higher mountain to climb when it comes to ball pocketing on this table compared to a bar box or a 9-footer even. So good test of the skills there, but yeah, CC has a lot of experience on the national stage in terms of snooker specifically, from what I understand. It has been a few years that he's been going to the U.S. Nationals. He did have runner-up a few years back.
So you can put him back, or you can nominate a free ball.
That's true. You can nominate a free ball. He can put him back here, or you can put him back at the original spot. I think maybe Daniel doesn't necessarily know the rules, so he's just asking CC to clarify what he can do.
We got Mike Dominguez just...
Yeah, it's the rule clarification.
Stuff you want to, clarify the rules. Obviously, he can put him back, but there's also a free ball. But there is one caveat that as much as Daniel's new, and it's kind of an advantage if they were to tell him, but if he doesn't know, it's kind of a bit unfortunate because a free ball, you cannot roll up to your free ball and snooker your opponent behind that free ball.
Yeah.
Which,
he might do if that's the case. But based on how the balls are sitting right now, I don't even know if you would risk it. I think you would either put him back now or take the free ball. I guess any of the options are there, but if you're taking the free ball, I think you're going to be shooting. You're going to be offensive with it. If you're...
So it looks like he's going to take the free ball, nominate probably the yellow.
Yeah.
Does have to let us know and nominate, or at least let his opponent know, which... And he can still put him back. He hasn't taken the shot yet. Still surveying.
Oh, maybe you know what he's going to do here? He could be playing to the brown. Maybe he's going to elect the brown and just do a stop shot there. and try to leave him another kick shot that's maybe a little bit less of a one cushion escape type kick shot. The only problem with here is it could be risky if he doesn't actually put the, if he pushes the brown maybe around and gets the cue ball snooker behind the brown, it could be a risk. Yeah, doesn't want this to go too far, but yeah, it looks close. I don't think the window is there, but I could be. I'm always very often misjudging these cameras, so
It's true, and it looks like our referee Dominguez is going to come in and just take a look, pull out his trusty ball marker with his Taylor pencil, and he'll mark the spot for a very accurate replacement if there is to be a miss. Thanks again for tuning in, Buck Buck Moose, one of the fateful viewerships we get down here in Seattle when there's events.
yeah, he's becoming another regular Buck Buck Mooses. All right, we got it marked up. Oh, just caught the black there.
Well, where are you flying in from, Buck Buck Moose? Let's see what we can do. How far away are you from us out here in Seattle? So yeah, using that ball marker is a great idea for marking the cue ball. It's only a problem when sometimes some of the other balls go a little astray with the miss. So Christian Youngers and Mike Dominguez are just consoling and confirming with the video stream. They're just going back in time just to take a look and see where the black and red are placed. We appreciate that, Twitch Jinx.
Yeah, so then you can see the phone that he has there. He's got the YouTube stream pulled up, just making sure he's got the right position, because this is a pretty close and tight-knit spot, so he wants to make sure that the balls are clearly in the right area.
CC patiently sitting right beside us. It's good to keep your mind clean on this. Just let the referee do the job. It's true, Mr. Pastor. I think if Daniel can he can play some safe, and we've definitely seen that. I think he just has to keep that continuously in his mind frame when he's at the table. Just know that, yeah, there might be a shot that you really can make your opponent have trouble with, rather than taking on maybe a little bit more riskier of a pot. But that just comes with time. You know, most of the time, most players, when they get into this game, they want to pot reds and colors and make the big high breaks and stuff like that, and not realizing that all the pros can do it. Why can't I? But they definitely practice a lot. They are professionals. Most of the time, they tell the amateurs, if you make, a couple 30 breaks in your match in a frame, you're looking pretty good in that frame. So, as much as we'd all like to be, one visit wins and potting centuries, it's a tricky thing to do. May look easy with those pros playing, but leave you, me, and I, and even with Christian, he can confirm that is a very tough feat to get centuries.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, still yet to be another century on this table since Judd Trump was here in 2020. Yeah, 2020. 2021 maybe. Yeah.
So once again, Daniel kind of roaring out into a lead when we get onto the colors. Hopefully he can keep his nerves in check and just finish off the frame, not let CC come back.
I think this green is going to be the key part of this color run because it's not very available. He's going to get yellow. He's going to see what he has in terms of a safety.
Yeah, just the distance going from yellow to green. Got a lot of real estate to travel over on this table.
Yeah, so pot this yellow. Maybe get to the center of the table so you can play a decent safety and push the green. Maybe 3 cushions around the table. Up to the bulk cushion. There's a lot of options. Looks like he's playing low on the cue ball. Decided to come this way. Nice shot there. Good stroke.
Wow. Yeah, playing
got some cue power.
Playing it low like that just gives Evie more chance of failure as you've closed that target zone.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get on it to actually make the clearance, so it looks like he's going to go for this.
He's going to try his Judd Trump special right here. Knock this into the top left and screw it back for the brown.
Wow.
Ooh.
Got the screw back and managed to fluke the green into the opposite corner pocket.
Just while Daniel's thinking of that shot, looks like Brady Golan took the first frame of his match against Gary Wallace, and he's up 26-7 in the second frame. Varun Junjay and Prathamesh Sawant, they're still in the first frame. It was 42-16 for someone, just not too sure exactly as I can't see their names from our vantage point in the booth. And unfortunately, the one tough table, just looking over at Ross and Alex, they're just having a discussion with referee Dominguez, just getting their score thing checked out. Maybe when Mike comes back to the referee station, we can ask him for an updated on that score.
Yeah, Joe, sorry, I did score the last black. I accidentally missed it, but scoreboard is reflected accurately now. So 43-57, Daniel is up in the frame. Only 14 difference. 22 remaining on the table. And I think this is a snooker here for Daniel to kick out of.
Yeah, it's tough on that bird's eye view. You think, like, oh, he's got a cut in there, but this is a nice, beautiful angle right here. You can really see what Daniel's having to deal with as we look over his shoulder.
I'm going to go one cushion at it. Try to hit it full in the face. The risk here is hitting the right side of the brown and then going in off, but he hit the better side, in my opinion. Yeah, thanks, Joe. Yeah, Archit, about superimposing, asked about you can superimpose previous frame on the new one, might be helpful for ball replacement. Yeah, I think definitely we have plans to do that. I also have some ideas in terms of how we can implement it. Seems pretty straightforward, but yeah, we'll talk later. Let me know what your thoughts are. Maybe it's the same idea I have. Who knows? Gonna cut this to the right. Almost makes it. Overcut it.
Let's put that blue in a safe spot. But Daniel does need that. And 22 on the table. Sure, if Daniel's to take the brown, that would be an 18-point difference with 18 on the table.
Ooh, watch out middle pocket here. Watch out middle pocket here. Wow. So a fluke for a fluke. He's got a fluke green from Daniel and now a fluke safety attempt from CC. Not sure if he would have actually wanted it to go in because had he missed that, I think the brown would have settled in a really nice spot. Causing this to be quite the snooker had he left it, but nonetheless, made it. 10-point difference now in the frame. 18 on the table. Is this a shot that you go for, Dave?
With my ability, absolutely not. Well, all depends. You're trailing a little bit here. I don't fancy that shot at all.
He's going to hit the black with the blue.
Trying to be safe as possible, and everything was swirling there, and he was fortunate that he didn't leave a sitter.
Yeah.
And also another update from our blind table. Ross Bradson is up 1-0 over Alex Newstead. So lots of great action here. This is the final little round of action today, the quarterfinal matches. That will conclude our day here at Ox Billiards at the 2023 Seattle Snooker Open. But we'll be back on the airways at high noon. That's 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the semifinals. And that will be followed at 6 p.m. scheduled for the finals of this year's championship.
Another safety attempt from CC. This one's going to get close to the corner, though. Uh-oh, this could be disaster.
Yeah, is his unbeaten streak, frame of unbeaten streak, in jeopardy?
And he sinks the blue there. That's his frame ball. 15 the difference, 13 remaining. This pink would be the final dagger to put down this frame and break the unbeaten streak of a year and a full round of Seattle Snooker Open whitewashes.
Yeah, definitely an impressive feat by CC. But all good things must come to an end at some point.
And there it goes. Makes the pink.
Oh, Daniel Sardoncillo takes that second frame. Good one he needed. He ties this match 1 frame apiece. It's a best of 5. We will return shortly with frame 3 action. And we're back here with frame 3 action of this quarterfinal match between defending champion CCU against young up-and-coming strong player Daniel Sardoncillo. Important frame here. Who's going to grab the third one to take a 2-1 advantage and be on the doorstep of punching their card into tomorrow's semifinal?
Interesting break off here. His first red on the left, the bottom left corner of the rack, ended up going all the way up table. So it looks like on our TV table 2, Varun has taken the first frame, I believe.
Very nice red. Very tricky for Daniel. Oh, maybe he can take this.
He's looking at placing, rolling up behind the yellow ball.
Yeah. Definitely not going to take that long pot into the top right.
Yeah, I think this is a shot that, as a pool player, you definitely underestimate is how difficult this can be to get perfectly rolled up against the ball.
Yeah,
Especially the trade-off, I guess, when it comes to if you miss it, you end up being the person that's perfectly snookered.
yeah. And then there's potential of free ball or shoot again. You give your opponent a lot of options. So if you do those roll-ups, you got to make sure that you just have just enough pace.
It's going offensive, it looks like. I think the right shot still was to roll up on the yellow there.
Yeah. As much as there's a big area of reds as we're just getting started in this frame, it does, put your opponent in an awkward position, and sure, they might, be able to hit reds, but they might knock a few out that you can capitalize on, and the black's wide open. So a lot of things to consider when you're a snooker player at the table.
Doesn't seem to have left anything on into the right middle.
No, that's a nice shot too, because Daniel's got to be careful with his safety shot here, as that red is poking out.
This might, if he gets covered with the yellow, he'll be okay. This might get out though. It's awfully close, but I think he's covered. At least the potting angle into the middle.
Yeah, not really giving it much attention. So his body language tells me that that red doesn't go for him. So he's got to retort with an equally as good safety shot to not leave that red on for Daniel. That's close to the right middle pocket. It's quite the mics we have in the room, really picking up on some of those squeaky chalking cues. Really great opener here for Daniel. Give that one a lot of hope, a lot of balls moving around there. So he has left this red close to the middle pocket. Black should pass that red that's out in the open on the left side.
Oh, what a wobble. Talk about a wobble.
Sure, I say if we were in Empire, that might have been a member's bounce there, but this is neutral territory. Well, actually, no, Daniel's sponsored here by Ox, so this is his home ground. That should have bounced out for him.
Yeah. 12th man, as they say here in Seattle. Nice shot there. Really close to the cushion. Managed to get a lot of space, actually, for that straight of an angle. Still not a high-scoring frame yet. Still a lot of opportunity. Reds all over the place. One up table next to the yellow. One in the middle of the table, and rest of them down here. Oh, he's going to undercut that. Wow.
Yeah, it was a nice idea to cannon into that green to hold for the black, but you got to make sure of the pocket first, CC. A few probably snooker players in the stream are rolling a little bit at this shot choice technique.
Epic technique, they might call it.
Good opportunity for Daniel to put some points on the board here. Taking that red onto the 2, as you can see, it does go into the pocket there. Just warning you, he's got to play with a lot of top. Oh, yeah. Switched up at first when he was down on the shot. He was playing with some top. And that would have been tough, obviously, because he would have canned into that red. Just wanted to run a bit more. There's this red into the right middle with the angle.
It's pretty thin.
We'll have 2 cushions to be on the black.
Yeah, you plan to go around the black or shoot for that gap between the black and the red? And the reds in general, I guess. 2 cushions in that gap or 2 cushions around? I'm not sure. Looks like around it is.
Just not happy with it. Just getting a little uncomfortable. I think he just comes off, just looking for the right weight to come off that cushion for that red that's just above the black. The okay. Looks to be.
So a little bit of a match update. Looks like Varun is leading Prathamesh 1-0 on our secondary TV table. Believe, is it Brady up against Gary? Brady Golan leading Gary 2-0 in the back right table. And then in the background of the screen you see Ross over here on the left table. Believe Ross is leading that one. 1 frame, and Alex leading the second frame by about 30 or so, 20, 25 points a second.
Yeah, good for Alex. I'm impressed by Alex playing early on. I mentioned yesterday, he doesn't get very low, doesn't run that cue shaft through the cleft of his chin like a lot of the players do. One thing he does do is keep his head very still, and he was in tough company. Ross Bradson has been a runner-up in the BC Open in years past. Actually, unfortunately, lost just to Brady Golan, who's still in this tournament. So Plenty of good players here, really showing that the standard is raising day by day out here in the Pacific West.
It's not a bad safety there. I think all the balls here are doubled up. Yeah, and the green is blocking the 2 reds in the left long rail. So one that they're trying to stay behind is this slowly red that's close to the left corner pocket. Oh, he might be kicking at this from behind. Not sure what he's trying to do here. Interesting shot selection there.
True.
I think coming off the pack and playing to the top left area table was the prudent shot, but
yeah, to take a relook at that last shot, it looked like he might have been able to clip off a red and come off the top cushion and the side cushion and come back into ball, but now I think he's... Yeah, that one red that's in the open near the pink spot, or I mean the black spot, just above it. There's a pathway from this cue ball, so... But there is this one. To eye up. Is tricky.
he's playing it to the other corner. Wow, nice shot. Oh, nice pot, I should say. Maybe not nice as of leaves or results, you could say.
True, yeah. The funny thing in snooker is you can say a nice pot, and that means a good pot. But if you say a good shot, probably a good pot was involved in a good lead
and
for
a good
your
position, yeah.
shape. But I think he might... no, he can't get by that to go at the green. Just delicate.
Oh, did he move it? He did?
He did, yeah.
Okay. That's a natural safety there on all the reds. Doesn't look like he has a view at any of these balls.
Snooker. But a big landing area, but you got to hit it.
Uh-oh.
And I wonder if CC will put him back. I don't think so, because there is that red on, and Daniel will make the minor adjustments. You won't fool him twice, definitely on that shot. He's just too good a player that he won't hit a red, so smart move by CC not putting him back in. Might just come off this cushion for the black into the left middle. Just ran a bit hard. Does have the green and gives him an angle to run around the angles. Could have done without that full ball clip kiss on the blue.
Yeah, now he's snookered on the only ball that's really accessible out of the reds. What do you do here?
Probably clip off the reds to the left of the pink.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Thin enough. You don't cannon into that red. You see something different.
Here? Yeah. What's he looking at in this right side? Maybe thinking of pushing the red one cushion and back up table and leaving the cue ball on the top cushion, maybe? Yeah, just tries to glue it there.
Yeah.
Bad?
Bad stuff. It's too bad that you cannon into that blue after that green. So that was end of break, so... Still anyone's frame here. Important one, the third one, 15-12 for Daniel. Does like to will it in with that statuesque finish. Just lifts his cue high in the air. So just getting the scoreboard updated in the room as we have it correctly updated here on the stream. So you see a good tie this in the top right and just kind of float over towards the green. I think that yellow's blocking the path for that red on the open there, and he's got him in the snooker.
Yeah, so I just needed to fix the score real quick, but we're good to go, it looks like.
I think they're just hollering for the ref to come over to spot this cue ball.
Buck Moose asking the question of all questions. Did anyone set a new high break for the tournament? Yeah, we actually had 2 high breaks today. We had a tie for the highest high break from Brady Golan. He got a 46 yesterday. Got another 46 today, I think, in the first or second frame against Charlie Brown, and then managed to get a 47 in the deciding or the winning frame for Brady. So 47 is the current high break, only an increment of 1, but still to have 240 breaks in this this past match shows a pretty strong game from Mr. Golan. Still no half centuries, I guess. We'll see if someone's able to manage to break that. Oh, look at this shot. Oh, it was very close.
True. Oh, and he's left it. That's true. Buck Moose Brady definitely was finding his stroke. He wasn't there for the first frame against Charlie, but knew what he had to do and turned it on and took the next 3 frames to win that match. And let's see what CC can do here. Angle just to take on that black and draw it back to be on that open red to the right of those 5 reds in the middle of the table by the pink. He's just going to opt for the other top right corner pocket with this red. Good angle to go into the reds here for CC off this black. It does have a little saving grace that one red is out there, just in case the split goes a little wrong. Looks pretty nice.
Nice shot, yeah.
I think that the 2 reds that are glued together, the bottom's not going to go. He's able to take this red to the left middle, the high one there. So if the angle, he could screw over, be onto the pink in the top left, but that's definitely a very difficult shot.
Yeah, must be playing for brown, maybe yellow to the corner. Got a little funny, actually. It's going to go in the middle with this yellow, yeah.
Yeah, a lot wide open are those middle pockets. They're just asking for a ball to come out and play.
Ooh.
But not this time for CC. Well, he could maybe run away with that frame there, but just goes to show you every shot is very difficult in this great game of snooker.
trying to cut this to the left corner pocket, maybe? Yeah, he's looking at that line.
Drew very thin, so he's going to lose control of the cue ball. Should be up in bulk.
Ooh, I think he tried to hit that with a little bit of outside spin and just didn't quite get the deflection right.
True, yeah, he's now left it again for CC. It's a great angle there from our camera team and right down the barrel.
Yeah, all the videographers out there that we have on the sidelines.
True, and now does this pink just go by that? Those two reds into the middle pockets.
Yeah, I believe it does, based on this angle. It looks a little bit open. Imagine that the pink spot goes into that pocket, and if this can see this pink spot, then imagine it's on, but he might be trying to play a little bit more conservative since he has a 15-point lead and there's only a few reds left.
True, and knowing it's, a quarterfinal, a big event, you don't want to risk anything to chance. He definitely knows that Daniel can pot the ball, and if Daniel's let in, CC could be sitting for quite a while. So a little clip off that red to the left of the black should put Daniel back in bulk. A little tricky, obviously, as that cue ball is pretty tight to the bulk cushion. We went for a different red. Well, about 7 hours ago, CC was nailing these long pots. He's looking to take this on. Wow.
Talk about a shot there, ladies and gentlemen.
Nicely on the pink. Probably going to put some check siding on it so it just doesn't run up table. Kind of bounce off and straighten itself out so it can be on probably that red above the black and just be a bit further. Looks pretty good. He's taking the third right one.
Ooh.
Hasn't left anything and has a great cue ball there. It's tight against that bulk cushion. Daniel's got to just be wary. He doesn't want to put some unwanted siding. That's what he'll be doing when he's kind of coming down, hitting the top of the cue ball, because the rest of the cue ball is covered by the cushion.
It's gonna hit the yellow and settle up. Now there's an interesting cluster here on the right part of the table. I wonder if it's going to come into play later. Seems like something that's maybe going to be involved in a snooker later on or right away, possibly. It just depends. That is the last red that gets left on the table.
Yeah, I think CC would want to clear these little two reds and then potentially snooker Daniel on that final red that's near the brown and the blue, because there's a potential for a free ball to be awarded.
Watch out, yellow. Oof, he's going to snooker himself on this bottom red. Might have an edge, actually.
Looks like there's a path to see it.
Yeah, just the top side of it, maybe. Asking for an update on the Brady and Ross match. It looks like Brady Golan is 2 frames up to 0 against Gary Wallace, and he's trailing in this 3rd frame by about 9 points, 11 points. Not exactly sure of the Ross match. Let's see if we can get an update there.
Maybe you couldn't see that red. That pink was, or the yellow was covering it.
Yeah, so it looks like Ross is leading 1 frame, but in the 2nd frame is trailing by what looks to be 41 points, with the last red remaining on the table, so he might be playing for snookers in this frame. So looks like Ross might end up getting evened up in his match. We'll see.
Yeah, the one thing nice that with that last red on the table for Ross, there's always an element of free ball with trailing by 41 with 35 on the table. Yeah, I think you're right, Christian, that brown and blue are definitely going to come into play at some point. Whether they need to be broken up or someone can find the angle just to maybe scooch behind that brown a little. Daniel's just having a look at the scoreboard. He's all right now. He's on a color and there's 34 or 24 in it, so no really need to press the panic button. And so maybe he's got a little bit of an angle to come back down for this red after the yellow. Almost came a bit too much, but if you wanted to keep things going, there is an angle to bust up that brown and blue off this shot. Just a little too high.
Maybe he was trying to do that bust out shot without just a rolling cue ball, and I think he would have had to hit it thicker, and I think that's why he missed the pot. Had he put some low on that and cut it into the pocket, he would have had a better chance of breaking that out.
Just came a bit too much for CC. So that pink is his frame ball.
Interesting miss.
He just ran a bit too far after that red. Now we are, as we always say, coming down to those colors. So many matches are won and lost on these final 6 colors.
Yeah, so 23, 27 on, and like you said, yeah, this brown and blue gonna basically be the point in the match that decides the frame, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. First I was thinking, yeah, he got the angle to just kind of slowly drift over. But he really had to be close to that cushion, I think, just for a thin snick on that brown. Hopefully pushes it out and hopefully just rolls your blue or your cue ball onto the cushion, nestled between the cushion and the blue ball.
It's got a match update here that looks like Ross Bradson is now tied up with Alex Newstead, 1-1, best of 5. Oh, look at this breakout here.
Very nicely done. Crowd likes that in the room, that's for sure.
Yeah, some applause.
Buck Moose, this is a formal dress code event. So dress shoes, dress pants, dress shirt, vest, waistcoat, and bow ties and ties are only necessary for the semifinals and finals tomorrow.
Yep.
Gloves are allowed, however, no earbuds are allowed because that could be a form of cheating. You might be listening to someone or even listening to maybe us on the broadcast.
Listening to us. We have all the answers here, of course.
True. We can pot a lot of balls from the commentary booth.
Once we pot one, we're at 100% potting accuracy. Or I guess you could say we're undefeated here from the booth, right?
True. I've never lost a match in the booth.
Yeah, same.
Yes, color does not matter for attire, Buck Moose. So, yeah, you should come all the way from Wisconsin and show these guys how to style, get some panaz.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we were trying to get Prathamesh to a tailor because he was wearing a shirt last night with a dark chocolate brown and a light tan brown with a orange swoosh on the shirt. And we're like, that should be your suit right there. Those are the suit colors.
Yeah, it looked pretty snazzy. Daniel not able to capitalize on that breakout. But left a pretty tough shot here for CC. It's a shot that's potable, but pretty hard to go for. Playing behind pink.
Yeah, I thought he might play behind the blue, but both of them are in definitely good positions for snookers.
Yeah, it's kind of that prime territories when that ball, when the snooker ball is about a ball to half a ball width away from the cushion. Makes for a big target zone when compared to it being out in the middle of the table.
Snooker 155. I'm not sure who Lee the Shirt Richardson is.
No, I don't know who that is either.
That's a new name that I haven't heard of, but I assume, I guess there's something that goes on with his shirt. Or maybe he doesn't wear a shirt. He just wears a vest, and that's it.
That would be interesting.
And tries to tell everyone, my shirt is skin color. What's wrong with you?
Maybe one of those Emperor's New Clothes anecdotes where, oh, look at the Emperor's New Clothes. That's amazing.
He's a player on the senior shirt. Good to know. Okay. We'll be looking out for, but why do they call him the shirt? Snooker 155.
Oh. Definitely was an opportunity there for CC to get the frame ball, but now...
Yeah, brown is his frame ball. And Daniel needs all the color balls on the table if he wants to seal this third frame.
He went for that one. Don't know if it was actually on because of how close that pink is to the rail. Might have been the pink was actually obstructing the potting line. I'm not sure. It's very close though.
Yeah, I wonder if he goes cushion first and just tries to hit on the right side of that brown, because that's going to push the brown obviously up table. And with that flicking on the right side of the brown, he's going to shoot his cue ball, kind of trying to get behind the black and blue.
It's getting ridiculous over on the Twitch chat. They're all speaking German now. Oh, yeah, he went rail first. It's going to get coverage. It's going to be close to the cushion. This is on.
Yeah, I don't think he has the coverage.
Now they're going to start speaking Dutch. Wowza.
Well, we have heard if you ain't Dutch, you ain't much. That's what most of our friends from the Netherlands will say.
All right, here's another rail shot. Do you think Daniel goes for this one? This is a pretty standard, say, safety. Maybe can you get around the black is the question with the blue. If the blue can go 3 cushions around the black, that is the safety shot. Another alternative, yeah, I guess the same kind of shot, but maybe float the cue ball 1 cushion across and try to get behind the pink. Wonder if he's going to go for it, though. Yep, he's going for that pot. He's going to get away with it with the black. I think it's a full ball snooker.
True, it does look like it, but it should be pretty easy for
Oh, my
Stacey
apologies.
to come off the 1 cushion.
This is a fluker.
I don't think it was a fluke. I think it was intended.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he was trying to actually pot the ball. No? Knowing Daniel, I feel like he tends to go for it, but he's going to do a soft roll up here. It's one of his best skills, I think, CC, is those soft rolling snooker escapes. Always kind of guaranteeing yourself not to leave a free ball. Typically, if you end up getting really close to the ball, it's tough to even pot it if there's anything on, so...
Just wanted a bit more stuff queuing down with more of a pool player shot that Daniel was using right there.
Yeah, actually, on that one, it would have been a little bit more dangerous if he had gone a little bit farther because he would have left it into the right middle pocket. I think where it ended up now is actually fairly safe still. But yeah, like you said, ideally he wants to come back and get behind the black. It's a good second chance trophy, I guess. But both players, they want that first place prize. Now it looks like in Brady Golan and Gary Wallace match, Brady's clawed his way back 29-33 in this 3rd frame. He does lead the match 2 frames to 0. Oh, interesting shot from CC here.
Mm-hmm. Got the blue safe.
Mike Isaac asking what size of tip does he have on that carbon fiber shaft? Believed he switched shaft, so this is a Go Customs cue, and the first one that he was using earlier was a 9.5 millimeter tip, and I believe the one that he's on right now is a 10.5 millimeter tip. It's a little bit larger than a typical snooker shaft, but definitely much smaller than a pool shaft, so kind of an in-between. It seems like that's what he's preferring right now. Daniel just started playing with this cue yesterday, basically, during the group qualifiers. It's the first time he's picked up the cue and tried it out, and he said it shoots pretty straight, apparently, so... We'll take his word for it.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. See what CC can do here.
Oh, he's trying to get behind this pink. He's going to knock it in, maybe. Oh, wow. That was so close. The unfortunate thing here is that he's also left the blue. Very available. It's not an easy pot, but holy smokes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if CC's a religious man, but he probably was there for a split second, praying to a higher power to make sure that that pink didn't drop.
And Daniel's still within points. Snookers are not required yet, right? So, yeah, only 14 behind with 18 remaining. So, really, whoever pots this blue gonna have first chance at winning the frame. This is a big shot. Just overcut it. Watch out, cue ball. Ooh, these balls have glued up to each other.
Oh, and that little flick there created some separation and gave CC a chance for this blue into the top right. Almost thought Daniel was getting away with it, but just as those two rolled like a couple high school sweethearts skipping down the bays, they kind of had a little separation there, given the opportunity for CC to take on this blue, seal this frame, because that pink is a gimme, and that's all he needs. Blue and pink.
Yeah, and he sinks it.
Yeah, Daniel was just about to get out of his seat and just concede, but always more polite to concede when you're at the table or when we're down to this final black. And CC will look over to Daniel, and they both nod their heads to concede. So CCU, defending Seattle Snooker Open champion, takes that third frame to lead this best-of-5 match 2-1, and we'll return shortly with frame 4. Will CC move on to the semifinals, or will Daniel force a decider? And just as we're waiting for Daniel to return to the table from his comfort break, the players are allowed a 5-minute break after frame 4. Then just between frames, it's pretty much just a little refresher, just take the ease off and have a comfort break. But a little update from the room. Brady Golan has punched his card into the semifinals with a 3-0 defeat over fellow countryman Brady Golan. So the winner of this televised TV match that we're on right here and just about gets started with frame 4 with Daniel Sardoncillo to break off. The winner of this match will face Brady Golan in the semifinal. So whoever wins this is going to be up against it tomorrow at high noon at 12 p.m. That's when the semifinals will start. Tomorrow live at Ox Billiards for the 2023 Seattle Snooker Open champion. Just taking a look at some of our questions out there that Joe Town has noticed that in large snooker events, players don't leave chalk on the table. Is that a thing? Well, pretty much it's more of an etiquette thing, just to leave it kind of clear, because as we can see now, Daniel has left his chalk on the table, and that almost could be understood as a marker, almost. You know, it doesn't look like it. Very rarely do you see a snooker player leave their chalk on the table. Just the only time they would is maybe if they're really stretching out on the table and the pocket where they hold their chalk is just resting against the cushion and making it uncomfortable for them. So. Thanks for tuning in, Brian Brown, up there in Canada, putting his support out for Brady. Getting down to only a few Canadians left. Graham, unfortunately, Gary Wallace has been defeated by Brady Golan, 3 frames to nothing. So Brady will be in the semifinal, leaving him and Ross Bradson as the only 2 Canadians left in the Seattle Snooker Open Championship. CC's getting very lucky at times. That pink ball in last frame almost just fell into the pocket. His cue ball almost fell into the pocket there, and I think he might even have a little bit of an angle snooker here. Maybe he can just slide by. Well, no harm, no foul there. There's lots of things moving. Looks like CC probably will clip off this red and come behind the yellow or brown. He gets a decent cue ball, and it's kind of blocking up a lot of the path for Daniel to clip off the reds in the middle of the table to come up the right side of the table. And that black's just in a tough position if you want to slide off. So you might just have to think of a containing safety, or maybe those 2 reds on the side cushion, the one that's out a bit more. He might be able to clip off the left side and maybe just get in between the pink and the cluster of reds. Looks like he's playing the slide shot. Look out for that cue ball. That was the trouble of it. It was either canning into the black or running in off. But we'll see what CC does here. He might put him back in, actually, which is completely his choice. Yeah, that's what CC's going to do. Yeah, just because I don't think there's room from that yellow past that green to hit any of those reds on the left side. Or maybe just hit that 2 reds there that are right of the pink, the one on the left. Just touch onto the left side and just roll his cue ball into the top cushion. Give it a bunch of pace, but unfortunately couldn't find. He did get past the pink, which I thought was the worry there, but unfortunately can't it into the blue. On first glance, he should be okay. Hopefully Sweezy can swing around the backside of this black, come off 2 cushions, and get back up into the bulk area.
All right. More match updates, like you said. Brady going into the next round. Varun is up 2-0 now, and they're about to start the 3rd frame against Prathamesh Sawant. Our second TB table, and then the Ross Bradson match versus Alex Newstead. It looks like Ross is leading second frame, 44-30. That matches 1 frame apiece, so still pretty close.
He's taking on this long red, the one that's out in the open there for the top right corner. Nothing but net.
Nothing but net indeed.
Just came back right to where he was. So he won't have to really move too much to take his next shot. Only question is here, is he going to play aggressive? Take a brown to get him to travel down table, or even a yellow, or I mean a blue, or just roll into the brown.
Rolling up. Nice speed there. Good touch.
Snooker 155. We're always interested in many things that went on. He's talking about a Canadian tournament that happened 53 years ago. So obviously it's not the Canadian national tournament because they are celebrating their 50-year anniversary. But the spotlight is yours, Snooker 155. What do you got from your history books? Very interesting. Snooker 155. Please reach out to me either through email or a messenger. I'd be interested to read more about this solo snooker. It's an interesting concept, but yeah, you can find me out there on the Facebook, or the email address is on many of the publications on the Snooker Canada website. You should be able to find me through there. So yeah, send that article over. Much appreciated. Thank you for bringing that to my knowledge. This one almost has the start of a decider. No real player trying to jump in, but yeah, Daniel's fighting for his life here. So he definitely wants to have the distinct feeling of being back-to-back Seattle Snooker Open champion. I think that red that is right of the black spot can go in. Maybe you can't. It definitely looked like from maybe our angle, but now looking at the live angle, it doesn't look like it, but actually that red that's closest to the pink spot now looks like it's a potential of going in. Or maybe CC can get by there. It can, just wasn't able to make it, but yeah, I guess I'll always go with your first instinct. Interesting now that the room is getting a little bit more busy. A lot of more of the pool tables being active. So a lot of the players are going to have to deal with that. You know, a little bit of added noise in the background. Daniel gave it a shot. I think he's just going to flick off this red and hopefully get him nicely behind either the yellow or the brown. Just doesn't want to go in off. Okay. Ray Feng turning in runner-up to this year's or last year's U.S. National Championship he held here at Ox Billiards in Seattle, Washington. Ray showing his support for, I believe, CCU.
Yeah, shout out to Raymond Fung, master of the table himself.
Just couldn't get to bulk on that safety shot. Another shot here for CC to take the angle. Off this cut of this red into the middle. Come off the two cushions and be on the black. Wouldn't mind that little cannon. That's okay.
Yeah, match update. Ross Bradson looks like he's 2-1 up now. They just finished that frame in their match against Alex Newstead.
I want to go a bit more for CC. This correct, Buck Moose. We were describing a little bit, Prathamesh and I, about Super Snooker, as Prathamesh is well versed in English billiards, so he was discussing a little bit about that, which led us to Super Snooker. And actually, there's a game that Mike has kind of created around here called Snoopool. You familiar with that game, Christian?
Yeah, Snoopool is basically the 8-ball of snooker, from what I understand. Essentially, you're playing with, 7 colors, and it's supposed to just, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have the black is the 8-ball, like on an 8-ball table. Then all the reds are 1/2. And then, so 7 reds, 1 black, and then the other colors, I guess you have, how many of them? 5? Yeah, 5 colors. And so the Snoopool set actually adds a purple and a gray. New colors. So you have now 7 distinct non-black or red colors. And then you have 7 reds. And those are the 2 halves of the 8-ball match. For those of you know how to play 8-ball on a pool table. So you rack 15 balls in the rack. And you just play 8-ball rules on a snooker table with snooker balls.
Okay.
It's pretty
I guess
fun.
There's probably a full listing of the rules of that game on Ox Billiards' website.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. You can find more info there. I think you can also look up Snoopool in general. I don't remember who actually started the Snoopool craze, but I do believe that is a official brand name.
Good hit there. Just didn't come too far for his black to continue the break, so CC took his medicine and ran up tight to the black. A lot of reds here, so he's not in too much trouble. The only thing is, where is he going to leave his cue ball? Doesn't want to leave CC a great opportunity to score again heavily. Didn't get any of them. See that red just below the pink ball. Is it there for him? He definitely has the one into the middle. So, CC not liking his options. Going to have referee Dominguez put him back. Cowboy snooker, that's very interesting. Do you have to lasso the balls into the pockets? Please explain, Buck Moose. He's found reds there, but has still left a red on into the middle, and it's tough to see from this angle if he's got a red into the top left middle pocket. So it looks like he does, and he should be on the black afterwards. Ooh, and it just rattled in those jaws. But he's taking away that pocket for the black. Unless there's a good angle that Daniel can get by this black, stun it up table so he can take the black into the opposite top corner pocket. Don't think that black goes by that red into that middle pocket, or that top left corner pocket. Pink is an interesting one in the middle, but he must, I guess it goes. That is,
Yeah, he's looking like he's going to line up. Might go off the red.
this is dangerous. But effective.
Oh, wow. Clean.
Wow. He's got the best size on the table, better than ours up here in the booth.
So we might run into these reds to hold for the red in the middle of the table. The one down closer by the black. We're gonna run into the pink almost. He's on a red.
Now it's interesting. We talked about plants in the broadcast where that's a combination shot. A red, you hit the red, one red with your cue ball, runs into another red to go into the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is completely illegal for a color combination.
Yeah.
You can't hit a yellow into a black and have the black be counted as your colored ball. But why not? Plants are pretty difficult shots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wonder how people feel about that out in the stream. You know, do we bring into plants or combination shots for the colored balls?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Now, I do know of a case, for example, of a blue planting onto another blue into a pocket.
And when does that happen?
So from what I understand, let's say you're on the colors and you're shooting the brown, and opponent I guess shoots the brown, fouls, but leaves the brown in the jaws of the pocket and leaves you a free ball. Or sorry, leaves the blue in the pocket, hooks you on the pink.
Is the brown still on the table?
Sorry, no, I meant, yeah, let's start with the brown. So you can plant the brown onto the brown by getting a free ball where the brown is planted onto by the blue, for example, or the pink. So I guess let me start over.
Please.
Snooker situation. Opponent is
Sweet.
shooting at the brown.
And you're snookered on the brown?
You're snookered on the brown. Opponent is snookered on the brown. Opponent kicks at it, misses, runs into some balls, leaves the brown in the jaws of the pocket, but leaves you a free ball.
Okay.
So in a free ball situation, the next ball you're shooting is technically the brown.
Correct.
So now, if you shoot the blue and you elect the blue as the free ball, and the brown contacts the brown into a plant into the corner pocket, then that's a brown plant.
True. We
right?
did see that yesterday where there was the player didn't take it on, but there was a shot where it was a free ball and there was a green and there was a red ball right over the pocket. So they could have nominated that green ball as a red ball.
As a red. Yeah. So that's effectively the same concept, but with any color, if that's the case, besides the black, I guess, and pink.
Yeah, this game's it's kind of like an onion. At first, it's wholesome and beautiful, and then you just start taking off layer upon layer, and there's so many different facets and things that you have to think about. It's hard enough just thinking about, taking your cue and hitting a ball to hit another ball to put it in a pocket.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we know there's 6 pockets too, but still, it's a lot of space on the rails for the ball not to go into. Anyway, I believe I've confused and convoluted the stream enough for today, so we'll go back to the normal idiosyncrasies of this match. Oh, wow. Slightly thick. Try. It's one interesting thing that I've been kind of experimenting with. Yeah, Snooker 155. You can only play the free ball onto the ball on, but not the other way around. Exactly. That's what I was trying to explain was you can plant technically a ball on, which could be a brown, a blue, etc., a green, onto... so you can plant a free ball onto the ball on, exactly. So it's a green onto a green, technically, when it comes to point values. And that's why it's allowed. Right?
I think in your situation, visually you see
the balls that are different.
It's a blue ball,
yes,
but going into a brown ball. But the result of the shot before was a free ball. So then you nominate. All of a sudden, that blue ball just magically turns into a brown ball. It's a magical game. This game of snooker. You can change colors of balls without even getting a can of paint. Exactly.
Perfectly magical. Now, another thing that I was thinking about the other day was. You have a lot of players that try to learn the game, etc. Pool players, snooker players alike. But I think one very interesting thing when it comes to cue sports in general is, every shot is effectively an experiment, right? You have a hypothesis. I want to make this ball hit that ball, go into that pocket, get this ball to go this distance or this angle to the next area of the table. But when that experiment hypothesis, then you execute the experiment and you try to figure out how good is your hypothesis and how good is your execution, right? And one very interesting thing that I find most players actually miss out on a lot is the observation of the results of the shot. So when somebody shoots a shot and misses, try this next time you're playing with your buddies and ask them, did you miss on this side or that side of the pocket? And make sure you're paying attention to yourself, because that way you can tell them which side they missed on. But very often times you'll find that players aren't actually paying attention to which side of the pocket they're missing on. And whether that's due to frustration or whatever, but it's oftentimes a really clear indicator of someone who is actively trying to get better and learn, or maybe not aware of the fact that, really keen observation is the key to improving your game as a player, in my opinion.
Tough break there for CC. Yeah, going back to the hypothesis thing that you're talking about, that is a good thing at the beginning when you're playing. You want to find out your percentages of the shot.
Yeah.
Which shots you excel at, which ones you don't, so I'm not going to take on that 30% shot if I've left it. You're going to more opt towards the 70 or 80% shot.
Now, how would you know that it's a 30 or 70% shot?
Trial and error.
Exactly. Experiments.
Mm-hmm. And also, you also bring up another good point about post. A good friend of the community, David Putty, who does a lot of coaching out in Ontario, always stresses the post routine, as everyone has like a pre-shot. Ooh, Daniel.
Oh, expensive foul there.
Very expensive. As he mentions that, like, everyone's got a pre-shot routine. Everyone kind of, focuses themselves. They see the potting angle, whether they're using the ghost ball technique or whichever technique comes to them, and they have that, how to set themselves and walk into the shot, do their feathering, and then deliver the cue ball. And then the shot is done and they pretty much stop, and then they move on. They don't realize, okay, yep, that's exactly what I wanted to do there, or I missed that shot because I blinked, I thought about, if I left the dishwasher on, who knows what. But there's not a lot of post-shot analysts.
Yeah, I would argue that that's kind of almost more important than the actual pre-shot routine in many ways when it comes to learning and getting better at the game. When you're, you focus on the pre-shot routine, you focus on your execution to do well in the moment. But if you really want to focus on improving and getting better for the future, the post-shot routine is arguably the most important part of the whole process.
Yeah, they do stress, I think, that a lot. Obviously, we talked about technique over the weekend and very different teachers and stuff like that, but they will stress to have that similar pre-shot routine. You don't want to deviate from anything. Just, have that same number of featherings, chalk your cue that many times just beforehand, maybe 2 breaths out and walk into the shots. You'll notice that a lot with, CC, just having a quick glance at the board just to see how the score is going for him and what he does need. But with 2 reds, CC, you're not home and in bed just yet. You got a bit of work to do. Could have an angle to break out some of these reds over here.
Oh, wow. So close. Just needed a little bit less speed, a little bit more action on that cue ball, and he would have had that contact nicely.
But yeah, pay attention to watch CC. Very similar routine. Doesn't deviate too much. We'll have that same number of feathering. Other player, Brady Golan, I'm pretty sure we'll be watching him at some point tomorrow. He is in the semifinal. He might be on the TV table. We just don't know. He might be playing last year's champion, CCU. It's looking promising that might happen. But I'm pretty sure Daniel and all the Sardoncillo fans will be like, wait a minute. They got to play 5. We're just in the 4th frame right now. There's still a chance.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Brady Golan is the one awaiting this, the winner of this match, right? As we can see here. Yeah, winner of CCU and Daniel moves on to play Brady Golan. It's going to be a tough match regardless, but hey, it's the semifinals. Every match is a tough match now. Wonder what happened there.
He was just a little distracted by something behind him, but nothing really came off the table behind him, so maybe he just saw a ghost, since we were talking about the ghost ball theory. Does have to be mindful of this brown. Can't even look at that little piece of fabric coming from his claw glove. I can see it from my position. I don't think many people can see on the TV screen, but yeah, there's just a little piece of thread that was getting very close, like that millimeter of thread. If it had touched that brown, it would have been a foul. But that would be tough to call, obviously, when we have just a roving referee. We don't have a dedicated referee at each table. If there was a referee at the table, they would be on that shot like a hawk, just staring at that brown ball, make sure it doesn't get disturbed. Oh, what a treble.
Wow, he got the treble? No, man, I took my eye off it for a second and it went in.
Rob, I think Ross there's the score there. He is up 2 frames to 1, but trailing in the 4th frame, 42-6 to Alex Newstead. So there's a good shot of Ross right there. with Mike's Hall of Fame of snooker greats.
Wow, what a cut on that black from CC.
Yeah, that was his frame ball right there.
Yeah, that puts him up 38.
Mm-hmm.
38, 35 on.
Defending champ is looking good to get close to hoisting the trophy again.
Slightly off.
Nice try. I think if he was going for that middle pocket, it was very thin, but going for the jugular there, there's potential of a free ball, so definitely Daniel is not out of this frame by any means.
Oh, rattles that one.
He needs the black.
And
He needs this black, or it's going to be a lot more.
This is an ideal angle for this black to come up for the yellow pretty naturally.
Yeah, and then we'll have to see when he's going to lay the snooker.
Yeah, he's going to go around. It's like 3 or 2 cushions, maybe hit a third cushion and get around the brown.
He's rolling up to it. He shouldn't be.
Oh, no. Somebody should tell him.
And he's got to hit it, too.
Oh, no.
Just a little of the inexperience there. He should have looked at the scoreboard. He did need that black.
Oh, it's a tough way to go there. I think that's just a little bit of lack of experience, I think, on that. Yeah,
definitely. And experience, as you've mentioned, he comes strongly from a pool background. He'll probably look back at this match and just be like, oh, that was a rule. Okay, yeah, that's score. But sometimes you can just get quite wrapped up in your mind, and obviously he did know that he needed snookers were in the required stage, but taking the black in would have only needed him to have one snooker. But now with a 76 to 32 difference, and there's 27 on, it's just not looking good.
Yeah, that was the only time or only opportunity he could make that black to get the extra 8 or 7 points, right? So he needed to get that to maximize his opportunity in terms of points. But now I think left the free ball on as well. I think
yeah, because the yellow is the ball on.
Disaster strikes.
So just has to make sure that he doesn't snooker Daniel with the black ball.
And he's going for it.
Oh.
Nails it. Final nail in the coffin.
This should be all over but the handshakes. Good to know, Snooker 155. We're getting pretty close to the climax of this match. So when I'm done here, I'll source out you on Twitter, and you can share me that great article about solo snooker. Be greatly appreciated. So good snooker there by CC. So 51, 27.
Yeah, pretty dim.
Yeah. It's tough to succumb to defeat. I think obviously if this yellow goes in, or if CC is to lay a really treacherous snooker, then it might be handshakes. This is another thing as well we see from the inexperienced snooker players. Sometimes they just play on and not realizing that, in this situation, if you're playing me, Daniel, yeah, probably I would, succumb the 5 snookers that you needed, but you're playing CCU, reigning Seattle Open champion. And you made quite far, quarterfinals. I can't remember. Was he in the semifinals last year? I definitely think he was in the knockout phase. Yeah, Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel made it out of the knockout against Dave, I believe. Dave Daly, and I don't remember if did he knock him out of the knockout stage, or did he? I think Daniel moved on to the knockout for sure, but lost either in the first round or the second round. But it was a very similar format. I think we had 32 players, right?
Was there that many last year? I thought maybe this was a.
Oh, maybe it was 16 last year, and we only had a bracket of 8. Yeah, that's probably the case, I guess. Yeah, because it would have been around the same amount of time. So yeah, 16 players, 4 groups of 4. I think he got out of the knockout and lost in the first round, most likely.
Yeah, snooker. 155 saying there's 6 snookers to tie, and I've really only seen actually Jimmy White do this on John Pullman on a great YouTube video. So
Yeah.
those are some heavy hitters there.
And I think Daniel there is asking to clarify a bit of the score.
Yeah, the score is.
I have it 83, so I think they forgot to mark the 1 4-point foul at the end in terms of the scoreboard in the room. But he's just asking to clarify if it's when a certain amount of snookers are required. I think in the past we've done it to where the match automatically ends, but because it's in the knockout stage, I think we're allowing the players to continue on as long as they'd like. It's kind of only a group stage matter. That's sort of 2 or 3 snookers automatic win when that's required because of time constraints typically. But this is the last match of the day, and it's the knockout round, so let them play, as they say.
I personally do enjoy that concession. Maybe make it a bit more. End up in Canada is if it's more than 3 snookers that you need, it's a concession, and maybe come the knockout round, maybe more than 4 or more than 5, but still to kind of teach the new player that there is concessions in this game. And I think you're right, actually, Snooker 155. There was a free ball, and he did take on the black.
Let's see, so what I have 7.
Well, anyway, yes.
Oh, did I mark the free ball as a black? Oh, I did. A free ball, I marked it as a black. It should be 78. No, you're right. Yep, that's exactly right. So our scoreboard that we have on the screen is actually incorrect. The scoreboard they have in the room is at 78, which was the free ball black was the last they potted. So yeah, it was my mistake. Good catch.
Anyway, you skin this cat. I think this frame and match is done and dusted. That's going to do it right there.
Yeah.
It's just not your day, Daniel. Oh,
Nope.
I think the more seasoned player, you're going to see handshakes right there. I think, going back to obviously that roll-up that he had on the black when he needed that black, because a snooker was required for Daniel, just showing a little bit of the inexperience, but it's all a learning process. I know, talking with Mike, even, we love to see how these players are wonderfully dressed, and it's great that everyone's complying. But Mike and I were talking, it is an amateur event, so if someone was to show up just in not particularly great formal wear, we'd give them a warning, say, hey, for your next match, you gotta, wake up a little bit and dress a little smarter. But CCU is going to be facing Brady Golan tomorrow at high noon, 12 p.m. in a semifinal.
Now that's going to be a match as well. It's going to be an awesome match.
That's going to be a great match. Let's maybe leaning a little bit to that one for the TV table, but we'll see if Alex Newstead, Ross Brazen, Varun Junjay, and Pratamish Sawant have anything to say about that.
Yeah.
Because all those players are still in the tournament. And that's make sure in the deal. There's a round of applause from the crowd. Let's see if CC can just rifle in this black to just put the nail on the coffin. But a great tournament there by Daniel. The future looks bright there, young fella. Just learn a little bit more of the game, a little bit more of the etiquette, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be going a lot farther in these tournaments. But CC is the defending champ. He's still alive to hoist the trophy again. Thanks again, Christian, for joining me in the booth. We appreciate all the viewership that we had today, all the great questions and comments. We thank you very much. So tune in tomorrow live at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's high noon. We're coming to you at Ox Billiards in Seattle, Washington, USA for the 2023 Seattle Snooker Open. Who will be the champion tomorrow? Tune in. Have a great night, everybody. It's Dave Burney saying take care and see you tomorrow.